Hello and welcome back to the top 100 maps of all time with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very welcome. And today we have another one of those older maps which set the standards for today's maps. These maps are all voted for and rated at the time of release, so this again may feel a little bit dated. I don't know, I haven't been down and had a proper look yet. But again, at the time, this map was head and tails above every other map that was about at the time. At number 32, with a 92% approval rating as voted by you, yes, we're into the 92s now, this is Amaya by ZOSO. ZOSO, yes, one of those big names from a few years ago. This one, 2018, so we're going back 5 whole years. You can see how maps have evolved and developed and improved in different ways. There's still something to be said for the older style maps, and this one definitely is a strong playable map with strong standards and some strong aesthetics as well. It's 100% vanilla, this one, no DLC required, although we are using a custom theme, the New Caledonia custom pavement theme, which is one of the very first ones I ever discovered and used myself. It also will be using the photorealistic by a Reaper Final LUT. It was uploaded to the workshop in September of 2018. It currently has 1,020 subscribers on the workshop, 106 of which have marked this as a favourite. Has a 4-star rating on Steam from 80 votes, and I reviewed this way back in episode 456 of What Map, where I gave it 4 stars for aesthetics, 5 for detail, and 5 for gameplay potential. And so we look at the marvel, which is Amaya. The start square is slap bang in the middle. You might be misled by this complex intersection over here, but it's actually down here. And I think by today's standards, I think the road networks are a little bit simplistic and a little bit nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with them at all, perfectly playable. And we do have the ring road, which is going to take a lot of your dummy traffic away from the city centre. Also, the start square road, by today's standards, I think is a little bit of a stretch. I mean, when I say stretch, we've got a stretched out highway leading down into what will be the city centre. Again, this would be great. This will get traffic in and out of your city centre with no issues whatsoever. But I think by today's standards, other than we have the interesting possibility of connecting up here to here via a bridge, I think that is a very interesting little game mechanic that we have in place. But all told, it's probably not 5 stars for gameplay by today's standards, but at the time, it was as good as you were gonna get. Right, where should we start? I mean, we've got some very slick looking intersections, all like that's a very deep loop there, deep loop here, trumpet up there. We've got this intersection to check here too. I think we're just coming from down here past this wetland area, which again looks very nicely done. We'll take a right, then we'll take a left, and we'll check out the other intersections, the tunnel areas, and all the aesthetics from the landscape, etc. in a moment. Right, oh, hello. Right, so we're off. So yeah, we have this wetland area right from the off down here. It's out of the 25 tiles, which means, of course, in a 100% vanilla map, that isn't expected to be seen. Now, for an area that's not expected to be seen, I really like this. Okay, it's a little under detailed by some of today's standards, but I think it's got the right amount of detailing on it for what you're looking at. It doesn't look under detailed really, does it? But by today's standards, I know that we'd be looking at a lot more wham thrown into there. But I just really love the aesthetic of this. 100% vanilla, it's standing out and standing proud and looking very good indeed. Anyway, we have an elevated section of highway around here. I'm guessing that's due to occasional flooding of the area. Suspected flooding, because obviously it won't flood, but you know what I mean? It's all in the imagination, and ZOSO has imagined that area there, I feel, is wetland and needs to be a little bit elevated. So that's good. Nice work. A little bit of texture working underneath the highway there as well. Liking that too. Coming down to our first intersection, these deep loops are just so sweet. And again, here we go. By today's standards, you look at this and you go, nah, but is there anything wrong with that? Absolutely not. That is, again, at the time, about as sleek and as slick as you were ever going to get. And ZOSO, and no jinky janky again. We see it quite often here when you come off of something like this, maybe a jinky janky here. There's nothing like that. ZOSO was a true great quality work, quality intersection as well. From so far back in the day, that highway will then head off down that way. And again, how the roads split here, that's about as smooth as you can get using Move It and Move It alone. Now of course we have the node controller, and of course Cities Skylines 2 coming along. You can do way better than that in Cities Skylines 2. Cannot wait to get my hands on it. I really cannot wait to get my hands on it. Right, big old bridge. Everybody loves a big old bridge. A double span bridge there. Again, there's things we can talk about by modern standards, but there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's all the standards that you're looking for are there. All the standards. Yeah, are we elevated by 2023 standards? Not really, because we're nowhere near 2023 at this point. We're still 2 years away from COVID. Well, a year and a half away from COVID at this point. Can you imagine ZOSO of the time wouldn't, if you'd said to them, we're going to lock down the world, they would have looked at you with a raised eyebrow. Yeah, of course we are. Nope, we absolutely are. Anyway, another little bridge there. By today's standards, yeah, the pillar placements here, for me, it's quite interesting. They've gone with the rock there, which isn't a bad thing. But I'm thinking, if you're going with the rock there, if we had moved the rock from here to, say, here, as a kind of a break for the pillars, then we could have done a little bit of underwater terrain work, bringing like a mud bank up, leading on from the rock. That, again, is the difference between, I think, 2018 and 2023. We've even got a little, is that a rock up there as well? Just a little rock floating on the water. Oh, it's glitching. There is no rock there. I don't know what that's happened, but we'll just ignore that one. That doesn't actually exist, all right? We've got a little bit of anarchy issues. In fact, I think I see another one over there. Is that a floating rock? We've got a few floating rocks as well. I don't know what's caused that. I haven't seen that in years. And we're seeing it today. Again, it's probably just an anarchy setting. I've not changed any settings since any of the previous reviews we've done. So yeah, that would be fixable with a few tweaks of the settings. As it stands, if you want to see the map as it looked back in 2018, the link to the original review is in the description down below. Please do check it out, and you can see how I was wowed. I mean, this is still a great map, but in terms of being wowed, I was truly wowed back then. Next intersection there, look at that again, another deep loop. That is just so well done. And again, the tree detailing here just accents how strong and slick this intersection is. Now, I'm not sure where we are. We're here. We're right here. We'll take this turn off and we'll head down to what is a very ordinary, perfunctory intersection here. Just a standard trumpet. It almost looks plopped. Almost. Could be plopped. I don't know. And then we have the rail cutting through underneath, through that way. And again, some of the gradients on here by today's standards, especially as we come out the other side, by today's standards, you might say, I can definitely see there's an incline here. That's going to be a little bit more than your 2%. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Actually, I don't mind at all. And certainly at the time, I did feel it was worth penalising the 5th star for detail. So credit there. Heading down into the start square, and you have that roundabout with a 4-pronged roundabout. 3 to build off of, 1 linking back to the highway. There we go. That's an interesting little... Oh, so cute. There's a 3-legged dog outside my place at the moment. I'm just spotting on the CCTV. It's missing one of its rear legs, which makes me think, if it needs to pee, does it cock its right leg? And if it does it fall over? Sorry, that's very mean of me. Poor little doggy, only got 3 legs. Anyway, it's like my dog has no nose. How does it smell? Terrible. I know. Anyway, and we'll just follow this one over. Sorry, I got distracted there. It was the cutest thing. A very cute little dog. I haven't seen it before, but it's the cutest little thing. But yeah, 3 legs, missing front leg, missing front left leg. Poor thing. Anyway, that again, very strong bridge leading down to another trumpet intersection there, and roads splitting off, one off to the edge of the map that way. And if we head this way, we'll head down to what we're going to call the Majestic interchange. I don't know if it's Majestic. I can't remember if it's Majestic, but from up above, it looked very majestic. The double roundabouts and the start square, well, potential link to the start square. Sorry, not the start square itself. We've seen that already. But down here, yeah, this one. So we've got a cloverleaf with the double roundabouts. That's very nice. Gotta say, very, very nice. Simplistic detailing, and that's all it needs. There we go. We've got the ring of trees there. Beautifully done. Don't even remember. I'm sure we must have had prop line tool at the time. But yeah, beautifully done. And again, beautifully done down here. And is that a little bit of a tree clipping through the underside? Oh, did old BonBonB miss a clip? I missed these trees. I gave 5 stars for detail. Oh, shocking. Anyway, that's beautiful build there. And then the potential to big old bridge across here to link both sides of the river. I say potential, I mean you absolutely would, wouldn't you? You absolutely would. But be careful how you do it though, because you don't want the weight of traffic cutting through your city. So you're gonna have to be a little bit careful. I think maybe a bridge down here and a bridge further up this way, thus making anything that wants to travel from this point to this point have to come into city, down, around, back up, and whatever. You just got to extend the reach a little bit. And with the slower roads, that would probably work fine. Beautiful. Right, speaking of beautiful, let's have a look at these hills. I'm loving the tree work on these hills. It's just, I don't know, captivating, I think. You might say it's a little bit artistic. Doesn't really look or feel truly realistic, although we are following all the rules, i.e. seams going down where the erosion is. Absolutely agree with that. I'm loving the way it's done. I can't fault it. I don't think you're looking at what I would call a true realistic map, but we're looking at some excellent looking standards there. And we've got that sort of style of tree painting going on with all these hills. And none of the hills are imposingly large, just enough to stop you from seeing the edge of the map if you turn the fog off. And the aesthetics on those low hills from this angle, now that does look more realistic, I think. It's only the top down where you can see that the style, and we've gone a little, this is a little light, maybe we're running low on trees at this point. And again over here too. Looks like we've got some waterfalls on the rivers. That's quite sweet. Do quite like, we've got a little bit of water glitching going on here with the vanilla rocks. I do really like the water textures, and again we've got some more floating rocks there. Again, that'll be an anarchy or a snapping setting. Sorry, my bad. But we're not going to fix that now. But yes, the rivers look really good. I like, say, the New Caledonia water texture. I really like. It's just got a nice clean look to it. We've got a few little sandy areas with a few floating rocks there. Let's ignore the floating rocks, people. They aren't floating, all right? And have I missed anything of any great note? Let me pull back and have a little look. So we've got a few lakes dotted around. We've got like a crater lake up here. It's very round for a lake that's not a crater lake. But there we are. Very pretty. A good sand work around the outside as well, just to highlight it, accent it. Another little lake down here as well, minus any sand work. I think it's this area that really stands out, that makes the whole map just pop. And you can see the quality of ZOSO's work of the time, just making a map that is absolutely spellbinding. In areas, nothing really wrong with the map. Plenty of buildable space. You wouldn't not have a good city build on this with all this shape. The river running through the middle. The way that the trees work that can force you to just break up your grid city if that's what you want to do. Interesting river shapes going on leading in. It's just an interesting shaped map with plenty of buildable space, a good network around the outside. We've got rail running through there as well. All the boxes have been ticked off very nicely indeed. Amaya by ZOSO at number 32, your 32nd best map of all time with that 92% approval rating. Lovely work. Anyway, that is it for today. We have one more map to check out this week, and then we are into the top 30. Counting down the very best of the very best maps as voted by you. And a big shout out while we're here to the BonBon Buddies on Patreon and YouTube membership for supporting the channel. You guys really are the very, very best. I love you all very, very much. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.